So today is a very auspicious day. Today is 3rd August 2024. So we gathered here to discuss on this Bhagavad Gita on the chapter 2, which is known as Contents of Gita Summarized. Okay. This today is what RD Padanettu Perukku, or in other words, today is the day that you see that the gravity, the level of gravitation is very high. You see that today you can see high tide on the sea. So today basically today also like those married ladies will be changing their sacred thread. Okay, so a lot of things today. So on this auspicious day, when we're going to discuss Bhagavad Gita, we can see, even though, okay, now what we're going to do, we see that very high level of what we call gravity, and everything is elevated, everything is fully charged. So on this day we gather here and to discuss Bhagavad Gita, especially chapter 2. Chapter 2 is truly an amazing chapter. Okay, it is the chapter that actually going to touch on all of our life. Okay, we have basically every human being is going through some kind of stress, and this stress sometimes take over and eventually brings to what do you call depression. Okay, so now is Arjuna is kept in a very depressed situation. Okay, why? Like yesterday, what we have read. Okay, just to recap, Arjuna is, I mean, all of them gathered. Okay, Dhritarashtra said, okay, now told Sanjaya what happened. So, and he's setting the scene, and Arjuna will be telling Krishna, now you take the chariot to the middle, and I want to see with whom I have to fight. So once he went to the middle of the war, so what Krishna did, tactfully, he took the chariot with Arjuna straight and went and parked right in front of what they call Dronacharya and Bhishma. So when he saw that Dronacharya and Bhishma is there, so that is the reality. Okay, when you start to see Dronacharya and what they call and Bhishma right in front, he was so shocked, he was so heartbroken, and his mind started reeling. That means he started to reflect all the things that they went through. Okay, how that grandfather Bhishma took care of them when they were very young. So there's a lot of murder attempt against these 5 boys. This Dhritarashtra have said so many ways, and along with the son Duryodhana, they try to kill these 5 boys so that they can usurp the kingdom. So they can get the kingdom. They tried many ways and means. Okay, like if you have read Mahabharata, one of the way that they try to kill by creating this wax palace. So all these boys will go to the wax the palace made of wax. Okay, they all went there. So eventually they're going to set fire, and all of them going to die. So until at that moment, Vidura means the youngest brother of this Dhritarashtra. First Dhritarashtra, second is Pandu, third, the youngest one is called Vidura. So the Vidura heard about this, sent a signal. Then what they do, they got that 5 body, kept it in the wax palace, and they dig a hole, and when they escaped. So the whole palace was burned down. When the palace got burned down, and next day they came, they found 5 body there. Everybody thought that's it. The 5 boys is dead. All right, the Pandavas has died. So then after that they went and lived in incognito. That means they live they were hiding themselves. So like that, there's so many attempt to kill them was there, but from young. Okay, so during this time, grandfather Bhishma is the one that protected these boys. Okay, for them. And when Kunti, that means the mother of Pandavas, all right, she became a widow at a very young age. And this grandfather Bhishma is the one who took care of her like his own daughter, protected these Pandavas in such a way that nothing can happen to them. Okay, so now such a grandfather is standing right in front of him to fight against him. Okay, so why? Sometimes we can ask the question, why do they? I mean, why did they do that? Because the law of Kshatriya or the warrior, when they give a word, they will never take it back. Example, during the gambling. Okay, during the gambling, Saguni is maternal maternal uncle to Duryodhana. Or in Tamil, we call Thai Maman. Okay, the brother to Gandhari. He came and he made what they call a dice in a very mystic way, made of bones. Okay, it's a kind of dice. So when they throw, when he throws, he will win, but whoever opposite party throws, it doesn't fall accordingly. So at that time, there's a lot of questions. Okay, why did Duryodhana gamble his wife and brother away? Right? He gambled them away. So because there's a law of Kshatriya. When Kshatriya is called for a challenge, the Kshatriya cannot say no. There's no moral ethics. Oh, how can I gamble my brother? How can I gamble my children? How? No. When a Kshatriya is challenged, he have to take that challenge. So like that, in that game of dice, so purposely this Saguni says, now who do you want to gamble? He start to lose everything. He start to lose his kingdom, even though his younger brothers were trying to stop him, but he cannot do it because he's Kshatriya. That means you have to accept that war, accept that challenge. Then during that moment, during that gambling match, so he start to ask, give me your kingdom, give me this, give me that. Everything was taken away, everything he lost. End of the day, he said, now give me your brothers. Now I want you to gamble your brothers, including you. So he gambled, he lose his brothers. Then after that, I said, now at last, you give me your wife. You gamble your wife away. So very reluctantly, but because there's a dharma, because Kshatriya keeps that word, they'll never compromise. He gambled his wife, everything is gone. Then they were sent to exile. So, like that, so all these Dhritarashtra, Bhishma, Dronacharya, Cambodia, the king of Cambodia, and all the kings, they start to have friendship. Okay, they all have friendship in Hastinapura. Hastinapura is the hate, is what they call it is it's a place where the it is a capital city where the Pandavas and the Kauravas were ruling. So whenever they come, when they see these young boys, young nephew, and they just say a word, you know what? If anything happens, there's a war. Say when you look at Duryodhana, hey Duryodhana, if you're going for a war, tell me, I'll be in your side. They just playfully and said, I'll be on your side. I'll be in this side, I'll be in your side. Okay, Arjuna, when you go for a walk, make sure you call me, I'll join you. So like that, he went back and told all the kings, hey, look here, you have already given me a word, even though it was playfully. So all the people on Kaurava reluctantly joined what they call Duryodhana, even though they know Duryodhana was wrong. Even Bhishma know Duryodhana was wrong. But he don't have a choice. He have to accept the war. All right. So like that, all these great kings went to their side. And when Arjuna saw all these things, he was so heartbroken. Okay. So that's the thing. Any one of you have read Bhagavatam? Have you Srimad Mahabharat? Anyone have gone through Mahabharatam? No, huh? All right. So and now recently they say Mahabharatam is a myth. It's a story. It's not the fact. Okay. So my friend is a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. His name is Chakrapani Prabhu or Chandru Ramesh. He took the challenge of giving all scientific evidence to say the Mahabharata is true. Okay, he have released that book, and the book is in English. I have that book. If any one of you wants that book to study, to get that proof that why Mahabharata is correct, you can also you can contact me. Of course, I'm doing it as a charity for him. So if anyone wants the book, you can have that. Okay. So now, before we start, we do Mangala Charan. Mangala Charan means before we start any good things, we will start with some auspicious prayer to clear the path. Auspicious prayer. And in that auspicious prayer, we pray to the spiritual master. We pray to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is actually Radha Krishna appeared in Kali Yuga. This is Kali Yuga. So he comes here. Then after that, we pray to all that auspicious people, including Vyasadeva, Mother Saraswati, and all these. Then we start this program. Okay. So all of you can just fold your hand, just close your eyes, and just listen to what I'm telling. Just show your gratitude. All right. Whenever I say, just tell in your heart, okay, thank you so much. Because of you, we are having this Bhagavad Gita in Malaysia. Can you imagine? We are not even born in India, or we are not even born in this culture where this thing comes naturally to us. And now we were supposed to be like pushed. We were like took by this what they call strong current of river. No, we are helplessly drowning, and suddenly they brought the thing, from India. They brought it to Malaysia and they translated it to English. So for that reason, we have to offer our gratitude. Okay, so let's do our gratitude. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. This translation says, I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master who has opened my eyes which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. That's another big topic we're going to study in Bhagavad Gita. What is that ignorance? Okay, with the torchlight of knowledge. Sri Chaitanya Mano Bistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Pada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nittai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kada Damadaya Nagara Gramatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignanadayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhakti Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Garuti Se Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, now everyone join me. Let's chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavata Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. What is the name of the prayer? Okay, the name of the prayer is actually called Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan means to invoke auspiciousness. Okay. So example that before we start some good things, they do a kind of a prayers to invoking to starting this auspicious moment. So if there is any kind of challenges in our attempt, or if there's any kind of okay, say like for instance, when we are here, we are not sure that in what consciousness we are starting this meeting. Okay, some of you have not enough sleep, some of you feel drowsy, some of you feel angry, frustrated, or some of you like there are many things. So this kind of prayer will remove all that impediment, remove all that inauspiciousness, and create an auspicious environment. In other words, whatever I'm speaking to you is not from my knowledge. Okay, that is one of the tattva, one of the things that devotees will agree on. Whatever that we are speaking is what Krishna is inspiring me to speak to you according to your nature. Okay, according to your nature. It's not like something, oh, the way you spoke. No, I'm not speaking. I'm only an instrument. I'm only an instrument. So whatever things that we are speaking is come through the inspiration that Krishna inspires from the heart. So before we do that, we remove all that inauspicious things and we pray to Krishna and pray to Guru so that he gives us the inspiration to speak. Okay, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, now let's start our today's program. So today, this program, Gita Gyan number 2, okay, it has a, okay, give me a second. It's such a long topic. Right? What is happening here? It's like this. Okay. Can you all see me, or can you see this slide? Can you see me?
Yes, Prabhu, can see you.
Okay. Oh, it's here. Okay. No, the thing is, layout option. Okay, now got it. Now, do you see me in one place or two places?
One place.
You are seeing me on the right of your screen, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prabhu, we can see you on the top right hand side of the screen, as well as in the slide. You
At the
appear on the
bottom.
left on a small picture.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. Okay, never mind. I just use this one. No, after the reset, I don't know, everything like went haywire. Oh, okay, now got it. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be a very interesting topic, and of course, a very long topic. If you think if you want to break, please tell us. Okay, because break in the sense not because you are tired, because maybe the message can be the situation can be quite heavy. All right, for that reason. So if you think you need a break, just do tell me. Okay, so let's offer our obeisances to our Gaur-Nitai. All right, this is the deities in ISKCON, Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And of course, dedicate to my very dear friend, His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru, Sheshadipuram, ISKCON. He is the creator and the brainchild of this program, Gita Gyan program worldwide. Okay, now, before we start this, let's be full together. We just chant this mantra before we start our Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so today's Gita Mahatmya. Gita Mahatmya means the glories of Bhagavad Gita. So what is that advantage? Okay, sometimes we asking, why do we need to know this? Because this is called Kala Shruti. Pala Shruti. That means, what is that advantage of studying Bhagavad Gita? Okay, it is very important to know that. Okay, because when you look at this, the second glories, it says Gita Dhyana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Shanti Hi Papani Purva Janma Kritani Cha. So what we can understand from a Gita Dhyana, that means meditation on Gita. All right. Then what else we can understand? Papani means sin. Purva Janma means Purva means previous. Janma means birth. Okay. So what we see, okay, let's look at this Bhagavad Gita. I mean, the translation. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. So that is another big challenge that I think that's another thing that we are all trying to act. Okay, that means we are going to India, we are doing this kind of rituals and everything. You know, we want to go on a pilgrimage. You know, we do special prayer. Why? Because, okay, say example now, the exam season is started. You know, all the children are going for SPM and everything. So they do this kind of yagya, fire sacrifice, prayer, so that the child will achieve success. So what is the purpose of that prayer? See, sometimes in our previous birth, we should have done some kind of karma or some kind of deeds that is hindering our progress. Okay. Like for instance, you go to a certain place in India, say if you are a childless couple, you want a child, you go to a certain place, you do some kind of ritual. So you do that ritual for what? So that you neutralize that one particular karma that you have done in your previous life, so that in this life you will have a child. So all that things, like you go to Ganga, you bathe. Why? To remove our sin and to remove all our previous birth karma. But here Lord Shiva is saying, but if one reads Gita very sincerely, if you read it very sincerely, not simply randomly, just read it very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of past misdeeds will not act upon him. We have two types of karma. One karma is called prarabdha karma. Okay. One karma is called as prarabdha karma. Okay, I'll just we call prarabdha karma. Okay, prarabdha karma. Can you all see this thing, right? You can see the word, prarabdha karma.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
the karma that you are keeping in your warehouse. Every one of us got a huge warehouse, and that huge warehouse where all the seeds, all right, all the seeds are kept. Okay, all the seeds are kept, awaiting to fructify. Berchamba, in Malay we call berchamba, or in Tamil we call tulkuradhukku. Tulradu, I mean tulukkuradhu, right? So prarabdha, that means all these karma that we have been accumulated. Maybe what are you going through now? Maybe is certain karma that you have done maybe 5 births away or 10 births away. It is not immediately your previous birth karma you're enjoying or suffering now. So they call prarabdha karma. So the prarabdha karma is very hard to destroy, because we have been taken birth for millions and millions of lifetime. In that millions of lifetime, we have captured so much of karma that we have accumulated. And maybe the karma that you're doing in this birth, maybe you'll enjoy or suffer maybe in another 10 births down the road. So they call prarabdha karma. So this prarabdha karma is something very hard to destroy. But here Krishna says, the Lord Shiva says, if one reads Gita very sincerely, all right, with the grace of the Lord, the reaction of his past misdeeds, all your prarabdha karma can be destroyed. Can you see? So now the question is, do we really need to go and do all kind of rituals to remove our karma, to destroy our karma, or to neutralize our karma? There's two things. Prarabdha karma. When you read Bhagavad Gita, all your past misdeeds, whatever things you have done is destroyed. But at the same time, no, it says it won't act upon him. It won't act upon you. All right, the thing is there, but it won't act on you. But second, if you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, this Maha Mantra, all your prarabdha karma can be destroyed at once. Can be destroyed at once.
You want to pass it through?
All right. So what is the next one? Okay, the next one we call it as Kutta karma. Okay, what does that mean? Kutta karma means the thing, that something that you are accumulating in this current birth, in this current life. All right. Say if you have a bad habit, if you can't control it, eventually you're going to get disease from that such habit. So Kutta karma. And where do you find Kutta karma? You see in your palm. All right. When you look at your palm, now whatever things that you're seeing on your palm is Kutta karma, that what you have done in this lifetime and you're going to enjoy or suffer in this lifetime. So how are we going to remove Kutta karma? By clapping hand. Whenever we do kirtan, we sing Hare Krishna, we just clap hand. When we clap hand, all that Kutta karma, all these things, the line, all will be destroyed. Just like when you see a pigeon, birds, you just go there and just clap. How all the birds will fly away. So in that way, everything will be flown away. All that Kutta karma can be flown away. Right? So that is something today for your contemplation. Okay. So now let's look at this. Okay. So that means we understand. So this chapter 2 also is going to be very beneficial. Okay. Anyway. So now let's understand Bhagavad Gita. So in understanding Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2, so Bhagavad Gita is understood by a person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. Okay, these are because we are talking about previously we said about who who can to study Gita sincerely and seriousness. So what are the way? Who are the type? So that means he says the Gita is best understood by a person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. That is to say, he must be a devotee in a direct relationship. All right, he has to be a devotee. That means directly relationship with God, with the Lord. As soon as one becomes a devotee of the Lord, he has a direct relationship with the Lord. That is very elaborate subject matter, but briefly it can be stated that a devotee is in a relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead in one of 5 different ways. All right. So what are the ways that we can be devotee to the Lord? One, devotee in a very passive state. Passive. And second, we see a devotee in a very active state, they actively involved, actively speak about Gita, actively distribute Gita. One may be a devotee as a friend. Okay. One may be a devotee as a parent. Sometimes you see, like when we go to some house, they like to keep baby Krishna and they put a cradle and like to treat Krishna like a baby. And fifth one is one may be a devotee as a conjugal lover or the lover of Krishna. All right. They decorate Krishna in such a beautiful way and feels that he's my boyfriend or my husband in that way. Okay. Now, so, okay, let's look at chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized. Okay, 2.1. So as I said yesterday, what you can do, I'll chant the prayer. I'll speak the verse. So behind you, try to follow. Okay, because it's very auspicious to recite the verses. Sanjaya vacha tang tata kripaya vishtang ashrupurna kule kshanam vishidantam idang vakyam uvacha madhusudana. Okay, the thing is, I see when there's a M, there's a dot. Okay, we're going to pronounce from the nose. Sounds like tang. So, and also tata. So R there, krr. So kripaya, kripa. Okay, we can sound like a ru, kripa. Okay, yeah. Okay, there's a S at the bottom. What are you going to say? Roll your tongue, put it there. Sha. So vishtam. Okay, S with the apostrophe. Sha, like shampoo. Ashru. So there's a dash on top. So pool. So you dash, we can pull the raga. Pool. Na. Pu. Le. Okay. E and O, naturally we can pull the raga. A. Kshanam. Okay. Okay. Okay, Vishidantam. Okay. Now who Sanjaya? Sanjaya is the Prime Minister of Dhritarashtra, and he's now speaking. Again, let's do it. Sanjaya Uvacha Tang Tata Kripaya Vishtam Ashru Purna Kulekshanam Vishidantam Idang Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudana. Okay, there's a H. Okay, there's a H here. There's a dot. So there's a silent A at the back. Sudanaha. Okay. So now Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words. Now Krishna started to speak. So now what we can understand from this verse here, that means Arjuna is full of compassion. Why? Do I really need to kill all these people? Number two, his mind is depressed. And imagine what kind of depression he might have gone through. That's the worst kind of depression. The depression that sometimes what we are going through is considered nothing compared to what he's going through. All right. So then his eyes full of tears means what? He is crying. He's lamenting. All right. He's crying. Can you imagine such a great warrior is sitting and crying? So we must understand depression can happen to anyone. It is not isolated to the people. Oh, sometimes when we see people, like you are such a strong man and you can still cry, you can be depressed. No, it can happen to anyone. So just imagine, my dear friends, we have so many people around us. Now, just in your mind, just think of one person that you think is depressed. Do them a great favor by encouraging them to own a Bhagavad Gita and to read them. Number two, we're going to start this session again in the month of September. I thought of doing this every month. Keep it in your mind. Maybe you can write it in a piece of paper. On the month of second batch, when it comes, call the person and say, you have to attend this program that can help you on your depression. All right? So his mind is depressed. His eyes full of tears. And now Krishna spoke. 2.2. So Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Okay. Okay. Now here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is addressed as Bhagavan. Why Bhagavan? Okay. Bhagavan means he has all that 5 opulences. We will study as we go on. What is Bhagavan means? He is full of opulence. He's full of, he's complete in opulence, complete in beauty, complete in renunciation, complete in mercy and all these things. So these are the 5 things. I mean, because we also going to understand what is the criteria of being a god. Because now you see that in this current situation, now you can see there's too many gods are mushrooming, especially in India. Every street corner you can find one god, and he has all the followers. So in Bhagavad Gita, of course, in chapter 11, 12, something like that, the universal form, there we will understand that. So now, just to brief introduction. So Bhagavan. So in here, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is referred as Bhagavan. Okay, now Bhagavan. That means now Krishna is speaking. Imagine his word is so powerful. After I recite, you recite. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalam Idang Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Justam Asvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. So Kutastva Kashmalam. Okay, in Indian language, in Tamil language, Kasmalam. All right, Kasmalo. You know, sometimes we hear the word Kasmalo. We thought Kasmalo is actually a what they call is not a proper word. Okay, not a proper word, or it is like a kind of a cursing. It's like a bad word. Hey Kasmalo. You know, we thought, hey Kasmalo. What Kasmalo means? Kasmala means impurity, dirt. All right. When we talk about alukku, I mean, in Tamil we call alukku, no, they say, but kasmalam is the one that extremely dirty. Okay, so Krishna is asking, Kutastva kashmalam idam. Why? Vishame samupastitam. The Supreme Personality said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? Krishna was surprised. Look here, you are such a great warrior. And this is not your first war. You are a veteran. You are known as Dhananjaya. You are such a great fighter. How these kind of things come upon you? Imagine that's how Krishna might have expressed. Surprised, disgusted. How have these impurities come upon you? They are not befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to the higher planets, but to infamy. You're not going to become successful. You're not going to go to the higher planets. Because everyone born in this particular planet, they have only two directions, up or down. Right? Down is hellish region. Up is heavenly region. So everyone do not like to go down. They like to go up. So that is the actual goal of life. So Krishna is saying that it doesn't lead not to a higher planet. It's not, you're not going to progress. You're going to go to the infamy, you're going to go down. How is this thing came upon you? 2.6. Okay. Then in between, of course, he spoke, but we jump to 2.6. Let's look at this. Please repeat after me. Arjuna vacha. Naichaitat vitma kataran nogariyo. Yatva jaye mayadiva no jayeyo. Yan eva hatva na jiji vishamas. Te vastita pramuke dartarastaraha. If you really study, you can feel when you chant this prayer, when you chant this verse, you can see how much Arjuna is depressed. Arjuna is reciting this verse in full pain. He's so depressed. Naichat vitma kataranno gariyo. Yatva jaye maya divana jayeyo. Yan eva hatva na jiji vishamas. Devastita pramuke dartarastara. What Arjuna is saying out of depression. Arjuna said, nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. He couldn't make a decision. Which is better, Krishna, to get conquered or conquer them? If we kill the son of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. When we kill them, it's no point we live because they are our cousins, our kinsmen, who lives in the same palace. So when we kill them, we should not care to live. No point. So, and yet, so Arjuna is saying, but still, they are standing right in front of us. So again, that is the thing that Arjuna was so depressed and so shocked, and he felt so betrayed. He felt so betrayed that they are standing right in front of me. What is the point? So Arjuna's reason for not fighting, of course, yesterday we discussed compassion for friends, no enjoyment even if one victorious, fear of sinful reaction. Of course, the last one, the fifth reason, indecision. He couldn't make a decision. 2.7. So now again, Arjuna is repeating. Arjuna is saying, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha. Please, if you are there, recite if you can. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha. Prichami tvang dharma samuda chetaha. Yachreyasya nichitam bruhitan me. Shishyaste hangshadi mang tvang prapannam. So karpanya dosho mahat dabata swabhava prachami tvang dharma samuda chetaha. So now Arjuna is still this thing. He couldn't make a decision. He's so confused. He knows if he doesn't want to fight, Krishna is not going to allow him. At the same time, all these things will happen. So now, what is the best thing to do? What is the best thing to do? He says, now I am confused about my duty. That means he's a soldier, he's a Kshatriya, now he's confused. That means, in other words, he really think of not fighting. At the same time, he knows he need to fight, so he's confused. And have lost all composure. He have lost all composure because of miserly weaknesses. Miserly weaknesses. The weaknesses which is so miserable. Okay, weaknesses. So what is that weakness? Because of his mercy, because of his compassion. In this condition, I am asking you, that means in this condition, in that severe, stressful, depressed condition, I am asking you, Krishna, to tell me for certain. Now, look at this word, the certain. So Arjuna is not telling Krishna, give me suggestion. Arjuna is not telling, can you just guide me which is better or advise me. He said, you in this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain, go to the point, what is best for me? What is best for me? Now I am your disciple. So Arjuna surrendered to Krishna and a soul surrendered unto you. Then after that he says, please instruct me. That means he's not asking for suggestion. He's not asking for advice. He's asking for instruction. Because when we have accepted our spiritual master, when we approach our spiritual master, what are we supposed to do? We have surrendered our life and soul unto the lotus feet of our spiritual master. After we have surrendered ourselves to the to spiritual master, so we became the instrument in the spiritual master. And what we do not chat with our spiritual master. We do not discuss. We take instruction. The job of the spiritual master guru means instruction, accepting instruction. All right. So now he's telling, now I am your disciple. Why? You may be wondering why. Because later we're going to discuss these when time comes. There's another verses that I'm going to relate back to this verse. All right. He says, instruct me. At the same time, he says, I'm your disciple. And the third thing, I have surrendered, soul surrendered unto you. That means whatever you tell, I'm going to listen. Okay. We're going to discuss this in our incoming chapters. All right. So now, what happened when we couldn't control ourselves? You know, there are so many incidents. You know, when we are so confused about our duty, when we lost all our composure, when we allow that miserly weaknesses to come to us. But do you understand, or I should have asked that, do you realize it become a norm? Like the day Ram was telling his senior, only age 38, dropped dead out of cardiac arrest. Things are just happening, right? At the same time, when we talk about people who couldn't handle stress, the suicidal level is increasing. So a lot of things. So what happened? Just look at this and start to relate whether you can think of anyone who have gone through this or going through this or planning on this, or maybe you also still victim of this kind of condition. Now, let's look at this video. Can you hear the thing? Can you hear?
No.
No, Prabhu.
Okay, again, sorry. Yeah. Okay, now. Is it audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it audible just now? Can I? Hello, say something.
Yes, sir.
He's speaking in Tamil. Is it, Prabhu?
Okay, now this person is telling his friends that he doesn't want to live and he wants to end his life. And he said, please come and see me tomorrow in the courtyard of my house. Okay, in front. You see me, I'll be dead. So all his friends thought he was joking. All right, when you see.
பாசத்தை தான் இது நல்லா உட்கார்ந்து சாப்பிட்டு அழகா இருக்கலாம். இல்ல ஒரு சின்ன உடைய மாதிரி தேடிக்கிட்டு
his friends is telling you should have lived a good life. You can have you can eat, you can do, and of course his friends are giving some silly advices. But what this person is saying, I don't care about anything. He's getting pension and everything. He said, I don't care about anything. What I want, I only want love. Because his children and everybody, it seems, looks like abandon him.
வச்சுக்கலாம். சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. ஏன் சாவ போற? ஏன் சாவ போற? வேணாம். கண்டிப்பா சாவ போறியா? ஆமா. நாளைக்கு கொன்போம் இன்னைக்கு நைட்டு. யார் பேர் போகுது? பெஞ்சின் யாருக்கு பேர் இருக்கா? பொண்டடி பேருமா? அது நீ தான் பொண்டடி இருக்கிற? பாத்துக்கிட்டே இருக்கறோம்.
So now it is thing. Okay, after he thought he was joking, and the next day, this is what happened. All right. Next day, he actually committed suicide. The day before, he was telling everybody thought it was a joke. He was a joke. Then he says, everybody saying, I got everything. You got money, you got everything. You got look at the house, such a nice house. Because of he was so much depressed. His wife and the children left him, and they are not coming to see him. They is not showing the grandchildren. He was so depressed. End of the day, he committed suicide. That's a sad reality of life. Again, think about it. Because in chapter 2 is the chapter that you have to reflect. Imagine this, the reality of life, which is so horrible. Everyone born in this place are suffering. And everyone is depressed. Okay. So, let's look at this. 11. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashochan Anvashocastvam.
Sorry, sir. It's Zoom.
What is it? Yes, Ram.
Sir, zoom out, sir. Zoom out. Because it's too near to the screen.
It is too near to the screen. How about now? Is it too near?
Now, okay, sir.
Now, okay, okay. No, just now that video, I set a wrong thing. After the setting, I don't know what is happening. All right, so Shri Bhagavan Vacha Ashochan Anvashoschastvang Pranyavadang Chabashase Gatasun Agatashungscha Nanusho Panditaha. Now, Krishna is chastising Arjuna. Chastising means indirectly like scolding. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you're speaking such a learned words. You are mourning. Mourning. M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G. Mourn. All right. For what is not worthy of grief. That means you're crying for something which is not worth it. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Those who are intelligent people, they do not care. They do not cry upon lamenting. Lamenting for the living or the dead. People who live or the dead, they do not lament. Okay. Now, 12. Na tvevahang jatu nashang na tvang neme jana dipaha na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayam atta param. Never was the time when I did not exist, nor you, nor these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. That means, in other words, when you look at this, in this, Krishna is saying, you are lamenting for things which is not no point. I mean, you are lamenting for something which is not worth the grief. Okay. At the same time, not the intelligent people, the wise one doesn't lament for living or dead. That means, in other words, what Krishna is saying, and here he says, never there was a time that I did not exist and you did not exist. So do all the kings. That means, here Krishna is saying, we are changing our body. We are transmigrating. Today I am in this body. Tomorrow you are in different body. And before we were in a different body. So There's never a time that all of us never existed. And in the future, there will be no time we will not exist. We will go on existing. All right. So that's what Krishna is saying. Okay. Now, 13. So Krishna is saying this is very important verse. If you all can take if you have a camera or what, try to capture this, take this, or you mark in your Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 13. All right, this is a very important verse. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumarang yauvanang jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. Now Krishna is saying, as embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. That means, in other words, once upon a time, we had this body of a child, a toddler. We were baby before. Then we crawled. Then we struggled to walk. Then we were happy. We were a happy toddler. Then we were a boy. Then we were a teenager. Then we became a youth. And now we are a man. Right? So eventually, then we're going to become we start to become elderly. We're going to become old. And elder, then we become older and older, until one day the body, it's not possible. The body doesn't change anymore. What happened? We give up this body. And then we move on to the another body. Okay, formerly we were like a baby. We grow up. Okay, now we are somewhere here, men. Then soon we get older, then older and older. Then after that, our body start dwindle. Then boom, we die. Then after that, what we do? We take another body. We're going to continue from there. That means again, we're going to come back as a child, baby. We're going to start back again and again. So when you see, it's like keep going on and on and on and on and on. So that's why it says, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram. Kaumaram means Kumaran, young boy. Yauvanam jara, old. Tata dehantara prapti. That means as the embodied soul continuously passing in this body. All right. The soul similarly passed to another body at the death. So at the time when we die, what happened? Okay, like for instance, the body is changing until the body cannot change further. So what is the thing? The body will fall and the soul will jump into another body and just going to continue. Okay. So that means a sober person. That means the sober person means the intelligent person is not bewildered. So that's why sometimes when we see that when a person dies and everything, we could just accept it. Okay. Because this is something that everyone should understand. This is the first step of removing our depression. To accept the fact the day we're going to leave, and accept the fact when any of our loved one leaves, they have already moved on to next level. Okay. Now, 217. Avinashi tu tad viddi yena sarvam idam tatam vinasham anvayayasya na kaschit kartum arhati. All right. Now he says that which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. What does it mean? That something that pervades the entire body. There's something in here that controls the entire body. Okay. Krishna is now introducing to the next level, soul. So that means that pervades the entire body. You should know to be indestructible. That means the soul can never be destroyed. No. And no one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. In other words, you are all very powerful person, but of course living in a perishable body. All right. You are such a powerful person, but you're living in a wrong place. All right. So now 2022. So chapter 2, text 22. So now Krishna is speaking further. All right, refuting the compassion argument. That means because Arjuna was telling he's arguing, be very compassionate to his siblings. I mean to his cousins and everything. So now let's look at this verse. Vashang sijirnani yata vihaya navani grunati naro parani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani Anyani sangyati navani dehi. As a person puts on new garment, giving up old one, the soul similarly accepts new material body, giving up the old and useless one. So like how we are changing our clothes, right? So when it comes boogie, right? We take all the old clothes and start to burn, all right? All the useless clothes. So that means when the day comes and the body becomes useless, we just give up and go to the new one. Just like how we change our clothes. Okay? This is how we change our clothes. Now, so now in this verse 22, okay, now when we look at text chapter 22, text 23, what it says, the soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon. The soul can never be cut, nor burnt by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by wind. It cannot be dry like karvadi, right? It can never be destroyed. The soul can never be destroyed. Who is the soul? You are the soul. The individual soul is unbreakable, insoluble, and can be neither burnt nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Text 24. It is said, the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. That means the soul can never be kept quiet. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. For this, you must not grieve for the body. So in other words, the soul cannot be broken. You can kill a person, you can only kill the body. All right? But you can't kill the soul. Okay? Then, when you look at the size of the soul, when you go to, okay, in Bhagavad Gita also mentioned, what is the size of the soul? When you take a tip of your hair and you cut the tip of the hair into 10,000 pieces, you slice it to 10,000 times, that is the size of the soul. Tip of the hair, you take it and slice 10,000 times, that is the size of the soul. So that means the soul can't even see under the microscope. The soul even lives in microbes. The coronavirus was alive. The coronavirus had intelligence. It knows how to mute. It knows how to escape. It knows how to jump and kill. It knows how to invade, conquer. Because it's living. That means, in other words, all that what they call this amoeba, bacteria, viruses, even you see there's a small worm in the stool. You go suddenly see a dog shit. In that dog shit, you start to see there's a small worm, including in that the soul is. Whenever the soul is, that's when the body start to perform. You understand? So the soul is so tiny, so tiny. It can be in any place. That's why it says all pervading. So imagine we are that kind of such a tiny soul lives in such a body. Okay. So now text 27 and 28. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvang. Sorry. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvang janma mritasya cha. Tasmat apariharyerte natvang shochitam arhasi. Avaktyadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidananyeva tatra ka paridevana. So now in 27 and 28, what Krishna is saying, Jatasya hi dhruva mrityur. Mrityur means death. Dhruvam janma mrityasicha. Natvam shochit. Okay, that means one who has taken his birth, sure to die. We all have birth certificate. Eventually, we're going to get death certificate. In other words, when we talk about life, all of us have been sentenced to death, whether we like it or not. That's a fact. Bhagavad Gita is speaking very clearly on this. All of us on the death sentence. We don't know when. We don't know how it's going to happen. But Krishna says here that one who has taken his birth is sure to die. There's no way we can go to live here forever. But after death, one is sure to take birth again. He always confirm he will be born again. Therefore, in this unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. That means we should not lament why this thing is happening to me. Right? Why? How can we reflect in our own life? Okay, thank you. How we can reflect in our own life? The time will come, anytime. So we shouldn't be depressed. We shouldn't be thinking about it. Oh, I'm getting old. I'm getting fear. Who's going to take over my property? No. No. Because Krishna says here, you should not lament. Now, when Krishna says you should not lament, of course, he will give the evidence why you should lament in our coming chapter. So now think again. Who can benefit from these teachings? Maybe you can write 1 or 2 names in your piece of paper. 2 things you do. Encourage them to get a Bhagavad Gita for them. Ask them to join for the next session, September. Okay. I have taken up this challenge. I have taken up this service because I start to see huge transformation. I stopped doing mind science program. Like when you see Ram, he's one of my mind science students. Right? So I start to see no point speaking about mind science when I cannot go into the core. So the core is Bhagavad Gita. So I've taken up this task, right, to please my spiritual master, and of course to please my own, for my own happiness, to see the big transformation is happening in every devotee's life. So I've decided to do this program every month, first 20 days until December. All right. At the same time, I also have taken a vow to distribute 500 sets of Bhagavad Gita. So how am I going to distribute the 500 sets? It's only through all of you. How convinced are you with this subject? Think again. Who can benefit from this program? Who can benefit from this Bhagavad Gita? Tell them to get one. Because this is the book that can save one from the greatest type of danger. That is frustration and depression. It's very dangerous. Now they're talking about it. My wife is a pharmacist in Hospital Bahagia Ulukinta. She's the chief psychiatric pharmacist. She's a pharmacy psychiatry specialist. She specializes in psychiatry drugs. She used to tell me that the amount of patients were coming there, and all of them have one thing. The one has already gone crazy is different. Lunatic is different. They are already out of control. But the one that you're going towards that, like sometimes when people go crazy because of shock or something, but there's another thing that living in them, like the depression. It's so terrible. So terrible. And all of them, they go into depression. They go into like frustration, depression. You depressed is okay, you take medicines, but now we are talking about the suicidal. The suicidal rate has been increasing so tremendously. And of course, the government wants to curb that. So that's why I say, it's okay. I'm going to take this challenge. I told my wife, you're going to give medicine to subdue the problem, but I will use the method that has been spoken 5,000 years ago and valid till today. All right. So do help me to help others. Now, text 28. What is Krishna saying? All created beings are unmanifested in the beginning. What does that mean? All created beings was dormant, unmanifested, like nothing. Then they manifest in the interim state. That means in between, they come into being. And unmanifest again at annihilation, when annihilated. So what need that to lament? In other words, formerly when we were in the womb, we were in what they call in unmanifest. All right. We were through the semen of the father, we went into the egg of the mother. We were unmanifested. We didn't exist. We were there. Then in between we manifest. Then after that we came. Now we are here. We manifested. We are around. We are as a person. Later we go to the level. We become unmanifest again when this body is annihilated. That means the body will be cremated, will be burnt, buried, or thrown to the vulture. Like the Parsi, some people, like I think Jain, they don't burn or bury, they just throw to the vulture. Let the animal or whatever come and eats the body or something like that. Whatever way of discarding the body, we go to the level unmanifest. Okay. Now, so the lamentation of Chitraketu Maharaj. Chitraketu Maharaj has actually, he has done a big sacrifice. He was childless. For a king, when you don't have a child, is something very bad, very terrible. Because he need to look for a new heir to continue the legacy, continue the kingdom. But at this particular moment, what happened? There's so after so much of prayer and all these things, at last he got a child. But unfortunately, the baby dies young. When the baby died. So when the child died, Chitraketu Maharaj was so frustrated. This is what you can see in Srimad Bhagavatam, the story from Srimad Bhagavatam. He's so frustrated. He's so sad. He was crying and howling with all the queens and everything. All the whole nation was mourning. That time, Narada Muni came and wondering why the whole state looks like so bad. Came to the palace and told the Maharaj, Chitraketu, the king Chitraketu. He said, what happened? My son died. My baby died. Say, so what? If you can do me a favor, please bring the child back. And by mystic power of Narada Muni, he brought the child back to life. So when the child got up and he just looked around, say, what's happening? And the king went and cried, oh, my dear son, my dear son, my dear son. And the baby looked at the father and says, who are you? And he got a shock. What do you mean? I'm your father. Father, which father? You mean which father? I mean, what are you talking? Which father? I'm your father. Yeah, which father? I'm in which birth now? Because I've gone through so many fathers. Because Narada Muni have given the remembrance to the child so he can remember all the previous births. I have gone through so many births. I have seen so many fathers and mothers and relatives. So you are in which one? All right. And after that, then he was surprised that, of course, there's a Bhagavatam story for all this on this topic. Okay, I want to just give you a short introduction to that. All right. So now let's look at 31, and after that we take a short break, 5 minutes, 2-3 minutes break. 231. Swadharmang apicha vekshya navikampitum arhasi dharmyadi yuddakshreyo nyat kshatriyasya navidyate. So Krishna is saying, considering a specific duty of Kshatriya. That means specific duty. That means considering Arjuna as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principle. And so there's no need for hesitation. So that means, in other words, for a Kshatriya, when the war declares, they are very excited. Okay. Example, for Brahmana, what is that beauty in Brahmana? Okay, we have 4 types of Varnashram. Varnashram means the 4 division of duty. The top is Brahmana. So what is that beauty for the Brahmana? Okay. Beauty for the Brahmana is knowledge. When the Brahmana is very intelligent, that's the beauty in him. What is the beauty of Kshatriya? Warrior. Whenever there's a mark, there's a cut on the face and everything, it is something that they are very proud. The injury in the body, that's something they are very proud of. Okay, the injury and the marks are the pride of Kshatriya. So what is that? Beauty about Vaishya, the business people? The gold ornament and fine dresses, gold and everything is something they like to show off. That's the beauty for business people. And what is that beauty of Shudra, the laborer class? Is when they are praised and when they become very loyal to all their masters. So like that, Kshatriya is, they are always looking forward for a war. We don't call them as warmonger. Warmonger means they simply like to create fight. But for Kshatriya, they are always get ready. They are always on the foot, always on their toes, ready to fight. Because they know when they just perform their duty perfectly as a Kshatriya, they achieve liberation. And for them, when they go into the war, they don't think of coming back alive. For them, it's such a great passion. They go into the war, they want to fight to the maximum and get killed as such a great warrior. So that's their pride. So now Krishna is asking, so this is such a wonderful opportunity for you. And why do you want to lament? Okay, so that is what in text 31. Okay, so now we take a short break. Do you think you need a break? I think the message is quite heavy today.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
so we take a short break. 31. Okay, now let me see. Now the time is 10:23. Can we take a 2 minutes break? Just go there, stretch yourself, go to the washroom. We meet again at 10:31. 3 minutes. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, great. Okay. So what we have understood from here is so as a Kshatriya, you should always be ready to. Oops. Is it lagging? Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So as a Kshatriya, so yes, we have to always be ready to fight. Now let's look at, okay. So now let's look at this enjoyment, refuting enjoyment argument. Okay, the enjoyment argument. So he says, oh son of, okay, that is in the verse 37. It says, oh son of Kunti, either you'll be killed in the battlefield, Krishna is saying, and attain the heavenly planet, or you'll conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. So that means when you see here, fight. All right. If you don't fight, he'll be known as coward. All right. He'll be infamy of being a coward. But if he fight, if he wins, he gets earthly kingdom. But if he lost, if he don't win, he goes to heavenly planet. So that means there's no lost in this effort. Okay. So now that's what we always have to ask ourselves. The first things that we should understand in Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is basically answering the most crucial question where the current education system or the so-called, our elders and our religion they couldn't answer that question. The question is, who am I? Who am I? That is the most important question every one of us have to answer. Sometimes when you look at it, when people are depressed, and say, why is happening to me? Why me? What wrong did I do? All right? Where did I make mistake? Why? But they forget to ask the most important question. Who am I? Why I am here? What is my purpose in life? So this is the thing that we should always ask ourselves. So that's the thing. So we have already completed Sankhya Yoga, an analytical study of descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body, in brief, of course. Now we're going to discuss on Buddhi Yoga, work in Krishna consciousness in full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. What does that mean? All right, let's look at 39. Esha te bibita sankhye. I hope all of you are repeating after me. Esha te bibita sankhye. All right, I forgot to tell you this. Okay. You see, there's a apostrophe. After E, there's apostrophe, there's something empty, bihita. So when you see E, when you see apostrophe like this, what does that mean? That means there is a silent A here. There's a silent A. Can you see the word A here? I've just wrote a A. Right? There's a silent A here. So Esha te abhihita. So abhihita sankhye. But here the A, we don't pronounce it. We keep it silent. So Esha te abhihita sankhye. So when we use the word E, naturally we can pull the raga. Remember I told you E and O. So te, A, after you pronounce te, when it comes to bihita, you automatically pronounce the A. But in verse, they'll do like this. That means what you understand from here, there is a silent A in front of this. When you see apostrophe. Okay. Now, Esha te bihita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimang shrinu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandang prahasyasi. So what it says here, Lord Krishna said, thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. That means through scientific studies, analytical. Now listen as I explain in terms of working without fruitive result. Now listen, how you can do things without expecting anything, because expectation is the biggest problem. Expectation brings attachment. All right? Expectation is equivalent to attachment. So that means It's the big problem. So he said, how can you do without expecting any result? Fruitive. Why they use fruitive? When you plant a tree, what do you expect? You expect a fruit. So that's why you call fruitive results. Okay, expecting some kind of the end benefit. Now, fruitive. Oh, son of Prata, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from bondage of work. Where we can free ourselves from the bondage. That means we're thinking, oh, I want to do this. No, I can't. So what are the ways that we can free ourselves from the bond? Okay, 240. Now Krishna is continuing. Neha Bikramana Shosti. See, there's an apostrophe. That means there's an A in between sound. I mean, silent A. After O, right? Neha Bikramana Shosti. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Svalpam apyasya dharmasya. Trayate mahato bayat. Okay, now what it says here. Okay, now all of you are sitting here and what's happening? Okay, now all of you are sitting here and listening to Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so what is the benefit? Krishna says in this endeavor there's no loss or diminution. Now Krishna is introducing spiritual, devotional service. In this endeavor, there's no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. That means, in other words, now today you are listening to this Bhagavad Gita class. Say after this you give up. You are not going to look at this Gita anymore rest of your life. But when you leave your body, that means what happened to the effort of studying Bhagavad Gita today or chanting this Hare Krishna mantra? Even there's no loss. There's no loss in doing this. Okay, so even and they say a little advancement. Just little means you are sitting here for 2 hours listening to Bhagavad Gita. It's a little advancement. This advancement today is going to protect you from the greatest type of danger, greatest type of fear. All right, danger and fear. What is that? To be born as a human being in next birth. That means you still have a chance. You're going to continue from where you stop now. Where you're going to stop here, you're going to continue. So in order to continue, you have to be born as a human, because as an animal, you can't engage yourself studying Bhagavad Gita. So that means your effort today is going to save you from the greatest type of fear and danger, that you will not fall into animal kingdom. All right? You will never fall into animal kingdom. We will study that as we go on. What is that animal kingdom is all about? All right? In this life, you can be a doctor, or you can be someone very successful in life. But in next life, when you're born again, you have to start from kindergarten. You cannot say in previous birth, I am a doctor, and in this birth, I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue as a what they call. I'm going to continue as a doctor. No, in previous birth you are a doctor, yes, but in this birth you have to start all over again. You have to study from ABC. But in this life, if you practice bhakti and say if you didn't make it, it's okay, because in your next birth you're going to continue from where you stopped. This continues until you come to the level of being a pure devotee. Then after that you go back home, back to Godhead. You will never be born again in this world. For some, this can be your step 1. For some, it can be your quarter final. For some, it can be a semi-final. For some, it can be, this birth can be your final birth. But doesn't matter, whatever. Your path to perfection has been started. Is started. So there's no loss. So that's the reason. That's the reason that studying Gita and chanting is never a loss. Even though you're doing it imperfectly, even though you halfway and stop, it's okay. But my advice, if possible, why not this birth? We have born again. In this particular birth itself, I think some of you are around 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I think Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu is at 80s, age 80. So that means we understand. To live for the last 50, 60 years, just reflect how wonderful our life was. Right? I was in this kind of hallucination until the day my father left his body. I was thinking, I'm okay, I'm perfect. When the day my father passed away, that's the day that I got that, what they call the root awakening. They call the root awakening. And my father died of cancer of the throat, despite being a very disciplined, very clean man. All right. He was a senior veteran badminton champion for para badminton club or something like that. Gita Indian Association Club badminton. He was a badminton. At the age of 65, senior veteran, he became a champion. Such a healthy man. Suddenly, he had found something on the throat, and after, of course, he died. So, what I'm saying is, we have passed through, I believe all of you have passed through this kind of root awakening. So, it can be a beginning, you can be a final or semi-final, whatever it is. If possible, try to make it. It's not worth to be born again. All this we'll discuss as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. Anyway, so 246. Now, let's look at this. Yavan artha udapane sarvata sampluto dake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. So what it says here, all purpose served by a small well, the small well can be served by a great reservoir of water, the big reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas, what is the purpose of the Vedas, can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. That means all the purpose of the Vedas. What is that Vedas? What is that purpose? There are 4 types of Vedas. Formally, the Vedas is one. But of course, in Kali Yuga, people don't have much intelligence and lifetime to study all those Vedas. So, Vyasadeva came and recompiled. He went and compiled. He documented all the Vedas because formally it was like true memory. He documented all these Vedas and he saw it so huge, he divided into 4. Rig, Yajur, Adarva and Rig Veda, Yajur, Adarva. And what is the 4th one? Rig, Yajur, Sama, Adarva. He divided into 4. And after that, he gave to his disciple. He gave to 4 disciples. He said, now you're in charge of Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Adarva Veda. And what the disciples do, they find it is so big, they went and even dissect further and make it smaller so people can read in a small installment. So like that, there's millions of Vedas, millions of commentary. Like Bhagavad Gita have 700. Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses. So all this kind of stuff is divided further so people can digest. But the question is, what is that purpose of studying all this scripture? Why? For what? I am studying all this scripture for what? What am I supposed to know? What is that ultimate knowledge? I'm studying from kindergarten until my university. For what? So I can get a good job. For what? So I can have a good life. How? Money. Preparation for facing the world in this modern age. The preparation of meeting the world is described. Is determined on how much money do you have. You have less money, you're going to have a less quality of life. If you have good money, you're going to have a beautiful quality of life. All monetary. All right. So that is why we struggle from kindergarten. Parents are sending us to studies, these, that, everything until you go to the university. And university choose the best job. So you get a best job, then you can get a best this thing. So you can have this thing, you can have married to a wonderful woman or a man. And from there, you're going to have a good life, everything. So monetary. All right. That's the ultimate aim. But what is that ultimate aim of the Vedas? Right, starting from Bhagavad Gita up to Srimad Bhagavatam and all these 108 Upanishads, 108 Puranas, Itigasas, Agamyas, Mahabharata, Ramayana. All right, what is that aim? So the aim is Vedescha Sarver Aham. Aham means me. Eva Vedyo. Vedescha Sarve, Aham, Sarve means everything, Sarva, everything. Aham, me, Eva Vedyo. That means in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, we will read this as we go on. By all Vedas, I am to be known. Right? I am to be known. So the ultimate conclusion of the Vedic literature is to know who is the Lord, his attribute, his qualities, and all these things. So that's why it says, all that the small well, what he can give you, even the great reservoir of water can supply to you. Similarly, all that knowledge of the Vedas are vast, but it can be known for the person who knows the purpose behind them. What is that purpose? The teacher, guru. That's what it meant. 47. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbur mate sangostva akarmani. What it says? You have right to perform your prescribed duty. You have right, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Krishna says to Arjuna, you have to do your job, but you have no right on the fruits of the action. So never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activity. Don't think that you are the cause, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So don't think that you are going to be the cause of that destruction. And by thinking of that, don't ever think of not doing your job. All right. Example, if you are a doctor, I think Vaishnava Kripa was a royal physician. I mean, and every doctor understands this. Your job, when the patient comes, your job is to treat the patient. Whether the patient is going to make it or die, it's not in your hand. Okay. Oh, that means when I see why all the patients are coming here, all dying, especially if you are with emergency department, the highest death people, the doctors see in emergency, everyday accident, terrible accident, they'll come. They try to revive, boom, they die. Oh, I don't want to work in this department. I don't want to be a doctor because all the patients come to me, they die. For that reason, can I say I'm not going to work as a doctor? No. My job, when the patient comes, I have to make sure that the person to save them. That's the purpose. But I am not attached to the result. Whether they live or die, it's not in my hand. That's what Krishna says. So you have to job to prescribe your duty. 49. Then after that, Krishna says something very beautiful. This is one of my most beautiful verse. I really love this verse, 49. Durena hyavarang karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhav sharanam anvicha kripana palahetava. Durena means what? In Tamil, we call duram, far. Durena means far away. Very, very far away. You know, in Tamil, they get durathal tuki podu. Duram, through, very far. Durena. What? Yeah, avaram karma. Yeah, avaram karma means what? Abominable activities. All that nasty things, nasty activities. Okay. How? Through buddhi yoga. Buddhi means intelligent. Buddhi yoga. Okay. And Buddha sharanam anvicha. Then surrender to me. Kripana. Kripana means miser. Miser. All right. Kripana. Who is the Kripana? Who is the miser? Pala hetava. The one pala means fruit. The result. Enjoyer. So what it says, oh Dhananjaya, Krishna says, keep all abominable activities, all the nasty activities far distant. Keep it very far away. By how? Buddhi yoga. That means through devotional service. All right? Through devotional service. And in that consciousness, that means we put away all that abominable things far away through devotional service, bhakti. Then in that consciousness, Krishna says, surrender unto the Lord. So that means, in other words, the purpose we are doing this bhakti, we are chanting, we are reading, we are engaging in temple service, we are cooking, we are serving prasadam, we are eating prasadam, all these things. For what? For purification. Because in that purified state only, you can actually surrender to Krishna. That's what he says. With impurities, with frustration, with anger, with all that things that we have in our mind, we cannot really surrender to the Lord. Right? So then we keep all abominable. Like abominable means all nasty thing. So we can use nasty, dirty, smelly, whatever. All these things all come under this word called abominable. If you have dictionary, just check out what is the word abominable means. Nasty things. Far distant. By devotion. That means devotional service means it's purifying. We are purifying ourselves. Okay, and in that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. But after that, he says, Kripana palahetava. But he says, but Krishna also gives warning. But those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Kripana. That means those who want to enjoy. That means I want to enjoy. I work so hard. I make my money. I have beautiful, I want to enjoy my life. These are the people called misers. You all understand? Miser. Miserable people. Because we think we are the doer. We want to enjoy. Okay, that means, in other words, I do business, I become a millionaire, and I take the millionaire, I buy my Mercedes Benz, I'm enjoying, I buy a huge house, and all these things. Then after that, what do you need to do? You need to put CCTV camera around you, right? You have to make sure that no thieves enter your house. You build such a big mansion. After that, you see everywhere around camera, and all the house is fully closed. Even wind can't go in, right? And living miserably inside, right? When you have these big cars like Merc and everything, you don't dare to drive at night. I'm telling you all from my personal experience. Formerly, I was a businessman. I was dealing in all heavy machinery and spare parts. All right, 27, I made my first million. All right, so I know. When I bought my Mercedes Benz, my mom will call me. All right, at that time I was in KL. I was having usually I have meeting in PJ. I'm staying in Permaisuri, Cheras. So after that meeting, my mom will call me. Say around 11 o'clock. They call me. Say, where are you? I say, I'm driving back home. So late. Say, why? So late. 11 o'clock only. KL doesn't sleep. No, you're driving Mercedes. Make sure you don't go. I mean, stay. Why can't you just take a hotel and stay? You know, until I reach home, I call my mother. Says, I'm already reached the hotel. Until I reach home, until then she won't be sleeping. Why? Because I'm driving the car. People think, I'm talking about over 10, 15 years ago, they think if I drive that car, they will kidnap me along with the car. Right? You can see all these big cars, they go from one point to one point back. They also, that's why those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. So now, let's look at fruitive activities. What is the fruitive activities? There's always a loss or diminution of the result. Incur sin. Does not get rid of good and bad reaction. Okay, does not get rid of Kutta karma and Prarabdha karma. No guarantee of human life in next birth. And intelligence is not fixed. No peace and no happiness, of course. Result in entanglement. What is entanglement? You get stuck. Right? Have you seen a spider web? Okay, when a small time there was a spider web, and I saw the spider web. I was just sitting and watching at the web. Suddenly, I saw one fly going stuck to that web, and immediately the spider will come and wrap it, like mummified. And I was thinking, what is that? It looks so unique. So what I do, I used to take this small ant and throw into the web. Poof, it gets stuck there. And the spider will come and start to wrap it. I say, wow. So it's just like this entanglement. Once you entangle, you can never come out of it. Very hard. So results in entanglement. And also we entangle to one work. But of course, when you look at this working in Krishna consciousness, what is the advantage? No loss or diminution of the result. 240. Chapter 2, text 40 says, no loss or diminution. Where you're going to stop, you're going to continue. Does not incur sin. All right? It doesn't incur sin. That means the spiritual devotional service does not incur sin. Because durena yavaram karma. That means it purifies. It purifies you. It doesn't make you attached. Get rid of good and bad reaction. Kutta karma and prarabdha karma destroyed. So there's no reaction. Okay? One is sure to be born as a human being. That means guarantee you'll get a human body next birth. Either in the family. Okay, now being a human being, so what's the big deal? What happened if I born in a deep jungle of Amazon? All right. What happened next birth? I'll born as in the family of Zulu, the Aborigine. How terrible! Can you imagine yourself wearing a loincloth and jumping umba like that? You so scary, man. Or sit in the jungle and go and hunt. Yeah. But here Krishna says, yeah, well, you're going to be born as a human being. Yes, fair enough. But where? You're going to be born in a cultured Brahmana family. What is Brahmana means? Devotee family. Or you're born in a rich aristocrat family. You're going to either one of these things. You can find that in 240 purport. So I hope that you're going to read your chapter 2 today. But in 2.4, please pay attention. 2.40, pay attention. In that purport is explained this. Prabhupada explains. Now, 241, what he says? Intelligence is fixed and resolute. You are so fixed and resolute. You know what's the purpose of life. Result in peace and happiness, which is so scarce, which is almost impossible in this material world now. In this current stage, 2024 in Malaysia, it's no way you can think about peace and happiness. Formerly it was. Now you can see, even I'm from Ipoh. Now I see Ipoh, such a peaceful place. Now all the things are destroyed. Now you can see so much of Ipoh is turning into concrete jungle. Last time we used to say how people in KL can live, all concrete jungle. Now it's happening in Ipoh. Even I thought Ipoh was heaven, now it's no more heaven. So like that, everything will be deteriorate. Okay, but here you can have results in peace and happiness. Right? And for the peace and happiness, people are spending millions of dollars, getting new gadget, going to the new, like now they're building on a big, fantastic Sunway Lagoon, Sunway City in Ipoh. So what? Everybody can go there and feel happy. They can go there and have fun. They're spending millions, but that happiness is superficial. But here it says its result to peace and happiness, where it's mentioned in 266. The result in liberation. Your liberation is almost there. Everyone is working hard. They are doing all this kind of good karma. They're doing all this kind of charity work, giving food, free food, helping the poor, taking care of the orphan, taking all these good things, giving scholarship and everything. So they want liberation, moksha. But here we do not need, we just need to study Bhagavad Gita and everything. Moksha is there, guaranteed. 51. Then free from one bondage of work. 239. Krishna says this bhakti yoga will free you from bondage. Right? You do for the sake of Krishna. Imagine when you do things selflessly. I am doing this because I am doing this for Krishna. I'm doing this because I'm doing this for my gurus, Prabhupada. Your life will be so sublime. I am doing this for my name and sake. I'm doing this because I want to win an election. I'm doing this because I want to earn that money. But end of the day, if you don't get it, you're going to get frustrated. Example. Okay. 54. Arjuna vacha sita pranasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava stitadi king prabhasheta kim ashita vrajeta kim. What he says? Arjuna said, now Arjuna is speaking. After listening to all the thing, now Arjuna says, oh Krishna, what are the symptoms of ones whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? Because Krishna is saying, be engaged in devotional service. Be this. So Arjuna is asking, what are the people? How do they look like? How do the people look like when their consciousness is already become divine? How does he speak? And what is his language? And how does he sit? And how does he walk? Krishna asks. So here we understand. So what are the symptoms of a devotee who have already achieving in divinity? All right. So he says, how the intellect, okay, this question implies, example, he's asking about how does he speak? 56, 57. All right. So it says, how the intelligence and words respond to affection, anger, and neutrality. All right. That's the question. What does he speak means? That means, how does he speak? Because from speaking, we know the person is intelligent or fool. All right. My grandfather used to say, whenever you see a person, don't get attracted from the way he look. He can be dressed so nicely. He can be dressed as a poised man. Wow, look at this guy. Look at his charisma. Wow, he looks so fantastic. Look at him. Wow. Don't make that judgment. You only judge when that fellow opens his mouth. Have you seen that? Have you noticed that? Maybe if you can try noticing. You see a person so nice, right? So good and everything. But when the fellow start to talk, when rubbish come out, we understand the fellow is rubbish. All right? Okay. Now, so that's why he's asking, what is the word? How does he speak? Right? And what is his anger or neutral? How does he look? So the answer is 256. The one who how speak, that means he equipoised in happiness and distress. Equipoised means he's in the middle. That means he's not affected by happiness or distress. He's always neutral. Equipoised, that means above all this. Number 2, free from attachment, fear, and anger. That means this person who are in divine consciousness is not attached. Because attachment brings suffering. And Krishna also says no attachment. And there is no fear. Because why? Because he's in Krishna consciousness. He don't care because he got that Krishna to protect him. Right? And these are the people, especially devotee, are looking forward when the death will come. Because you have to give up this body to go to the next, right? So they can't wait. When am I going to give up this body and go to Goloka Vrindavan, go to Vaikuntha? These are the people who have no attachment, no fear. I mean, they have no fear at all. Like just now the kirtan that we are listening, Kadamba Kandana Swami, that Maharaj was diagnosed with cancer. When he was diagnosed with cancer and he asked the doctor says, there's no chance for you to survive, but we try chemotherapy. And he says, if you don't have a chance to survive, why chemotherapy? He refused that thing. He came back and he started to engage himself. And every time when he is speaking in a tone that he can't wait to leave his body so that he can go to Goloka Vrindavan. He refused his medication. Until his final moment, he died in a very peaceful way, keeping his what Shila? Govardhan Shila. That's one deity form that he's keeping. He was looking at Govardhan Shila and he just said, oh, I'm going to come to you. And he was not morose. He was not angry. He was not shouting and everything. That means he's absolutely fearless. Imagine. Because we have knowledge, we are not in ignorance. Like some people anti-vax. Oh, I don't want to take vaccination because I'm scared to die. That's all nonsense. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the fearless because we got that ultimate knowledge. Where are we going to go? Right? And of course, anger. When the anger will come? Anger will come when you instigate me, when you question my integrity, when you come and trigger my ego. All right. Hey, Padita Tarna, are you really a fool? Are you really intelligent fool? You are such a bloody fool, you know. How can you tell that to me? You know who am I? You know how many years I'm in this movement? You are trying to tell me? Anger will arise. Why? Because he questioned my integrity, my ego. He triggered my ego. So what happened? But when we merge in transcendent, when we become devotee, when we start to engage our mind in chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita, what happened? Right? We know that we are not this body, right? That's why we studied, right? As time goes on, as we from one birth to go, eventually this body is going to give up and go to the next. Example, when you're driving a car, right? Suddenly one car enters in front of you. Like say one Toyota enters in front of you. You get very angry. Hey, you fool, Toyota idiot. You shout. Are you shouting at the car? Or are you shouting at the person driving? We are pointing at the car. So the car cares, don't care. Right? So when whatever criticism, whatever things that we are hitting is only hitting our body, which is only a vehicle. But we are inside here, we know what we are doing. All right? So this is it. So there is no anger. When you have that intelligence, of course, I'm not asking you to imitate. Okay, we are not trying to imitate anything. But all these things will come by itself if we go on practicing it. All right? Then, okay, and unaffected by good and evil. Okay, any good things happen? Yes. And every evil things happen? Yes. And is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. Because we must understand as how the weather is changing. Okay, now it's windy situation. Adi Mas is a month of wind. So you can see a lot of wind blowing. Then hot. So, it is so windy and extremely hot. Right? Then you cannot tahan la, everything, all the dry leaves all coming into my house. Then a day will come, the rainy season is going to start. Right? Chaturmasya started. Now it's the rainy season going to start. So, rain, cannot tahan. Some people enjoy, some people don't like. Initially, we'll enjoy. But after that, we don't enjoy it. Flooding and everything will happen. After the rain stops, all the dew goes up, the cold season will start. December, January. Right? So called in Malaysia, we call winter. Or other countries, there will be a snow. And after that, starts February, March, summer start. I mean, there's the spring. Then after that, January, February, March, April, starts the summer. Extremely hot, scorching hot. So that means happiness and distress will just move on. Now I'm very excited. Now I'm very sad. Oh my God, I'm so distressed. When the good thing going to come? Suddenly good thing comes. But after the good things comes, the good things also will pass. So that means it's just like a passing cloud. Good, bad, all these two things is just a passing cloud. Today I'm happy. Next moment I'm sad. And the following moment I'll be happy again. And the following moment I'll be sad. These will be keep happening to us. We do not need to ask. We don't need to ask, oh, rain, please come. The nature knows when the time to rain, the rain will come. When the time to dry up, the thing will get dry up. We do not need to ask. So similarly, that means when we understand all these things, we are fixed in perfect knowledge. So when we understand, this is what is, that means I'm not affected by good and evil. All right, now how does he sit? Now the second question, how does he sit? Okay, 58 and 59. Arjuna, how does he sit? That means implies how he restrains his senses and mentality. How the devotees, he restrains sense and mentality. That means he uses his sense only for Krishna service based on higher taste. He can control his senses. All right. How the analogy is just like tortoise. Okay. The tortoise, that means implies to keep senses away, always in the service of the Lord, and withdraw the sense when it's required. Example, we are engaging our mind, our intelligence, and everything senses for the service of the Lord. Right. So that means because the senses are so strong, the eyes we use to see the deities of Krishna, the nose we see to smell the flowers offered to Krishna, the tongue we use to taste the food that offered to Krishna, the ears we are using to listen Krishna's story, Katha and Bhajan, Kirtan and all these things. So we are engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord. Right. Now, so example, the analogy, they used tortoise. When you look at the tortoise there, whenever you go near, or it will pull all the limb inside. So whenever unnecessary time, they will pull the limb inside. That means the devotees never waste time talking nonsense. That's what it means. Now, another question is, how does he walk? Right? How does he walk? Okay. Okay. How does he walk? Implies. What does that mean? I mean, how does he engage his senses? How he is engaging his senses? Okay. That means while engaged, he does do with regulation and religious principle. That means how he engages his senses, he does with regulation and religious principle. Okay. That means he engages his senses for the sake of with regulation. Okay. That means he doesn't simply waste. All right. That means say like, okay, for instance, when he eats, example, okay, give you one example, eating. Eating is satisfying my tongue, satisfying my belly. Yes, fair enough. Everybody have to do that. Okay, no one says, I won't eat, I won't this thing. No, you have to do that. But now what we do, I offer the food to Krishna and take it as prasadam and eating it. So I'm not enjoying it for my own sense gratification, but I offer the things and enjoying it. So that's what he meant. 72. Esha Brahma Sthiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuyati Stivasyam Ante Kalepi Brahma Nirvanam Rachati. Okay, what does he say? That is the way of spiritual and godly life. Krishna says that's the way of spiritual and godly life. After attaining which a man is not bewildered. That means once you attain to that level, man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. So in this kind of attitude, if we can just maintain it or remain in that situation at the time of death, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Because just now he was talking about how we're going to transmigrate from one birth to another birth. But here, Krishna says, but if you can maintain these, you will never bot. You can go straight to the kingdom of God. Okay. So, okay. So, so that's the thing. So we are all have to leave this body to go to the next. All right. There are 14 planetary system up and down. And starting from Brahmaloka up to the lowest is hellish planet. And so we are only moving through this environment up and down, up and down, up and down. But here Krishna says, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nainang Prapya Vimuhyati Stivasyam Antakalepi Brahma Nirvanam Rachati. So that means when we can practice this, all right, Brahma Nirvana, we have to practice this, spiritual and godly life. Okay. Once we attain this situation, we will not be bewildered. But the thing is, now when we reflect to ourselves, can I really do this? Can I really do this? So what is suggested? We do not imitate, we do not pretend. Okay, we do not pretend. Okay, about pretending, we see in next verse, next chapter. Okay, tomorrow we can discuss that. Okay, how a person pretending to be a godly person. Anyway, so we cannot pretend, we cannot imitate. But can I come to that level? See, you it's not yet you can come to that level. But of course, it's better for us to know what is the ultimate aim. Okay, example, like for instance, I am studying law. Okay, the basic law. Does that mean I'm going to be a lawyer? But I need to know the law. As a citizen, as an individual person, I need to know what is the law. And I have to act accordingly. Okay. So, like for instance, if I go to Singapore, I just need to get the law. Okay, I mean, I know I cannot eat chewing gum, I cannot speak, I cannot do this. It's a basic law. Right? But does that mean that I'm going to be a citizen there? No, it's not that. Get to know the thing first. So that means, in other words, you are preparing yourself. This is what roughly how the person, a godly person, supposed to be, supposed to look, and supposed to act. And of course, after that, we try to increase, we try to practice step by step until we come to the level of attaining that perfection. That perfection is only attained by the mercy of spiritual master and also by the mercy of Krishna. By end of 18th chapter, that means 18 days down the road, today is day 2. You got another 16 more days. In that 16 days, you will know what to do. And that is the most exciting part. Because all this while we don't know what to do. We were bewildered. I am at the cross junction. Should I turn right? Should I turn left? I don't know. But now you are getting a clear picture. And you're going to act according to your own nature, according to your own self, right? Of course, if you need my help or you want to talk to me, you can always talk to me. I'll be a coach. I'll be like a mentor. I'll be like advising you what to do. Of course, I only advise you, but the decision you make. But eventually, what is that individuality? Of course, we also discuss, I think in next chapter 3 or chapter 4, we speak about individuality, that we are all an individual person. What does that mean? We will discuss that as we go on. Okay. So take the commitment. Take the commitment of RDC formula. The commitment of RDC formula is the stepping stone into that perfection. Even if you think whether you can be perfected or not, at least take the first step. So what is that RDC formula? Read Bhagavad Gita daily. Study. Read it every day. With what? Just now what we understood? With full of care and attention. And then number 2, distribute Bhagavad Gita. What is that advantage of distributing Bhagavad Gita? We'll discuss that in chapter 18. Krishna declares very boldly, the one who discussed this knowledge of our conversation with devotees is the most dearest to me. Krishna says, the one who speaks. Let me speak what? That means we cannot go and speak, but we are giving Bhagavad Gita and Krishna and Arjuna will be speaking. Prabhupada will be speaking. When we go and put a Bhagavad Gita in someone's hand, that pleases Krishna extremely. Try it. All right, take the formula. Okay, distribute Bhagavad Gita. And number 3, chant Hare Krishna. Okay, of course, we suggest you to chant 16 rounds. It's only going to take 1.5 hours of your lifetime. And this chanting, the vibration, going to bring so much of positivity in you. You start to see the world in a very different way. Right? If you don't have a thing. So now we have some donors who come forward. We are distributing this Bhagavad Gita, English, plus one chanting back and beats with one small Damodara card. I can give you that card. You can give it, put it in front of you. You can chant in front of the card or whatever. All in all, only for 50 ringgit, including shipping. Because the selling price of Bhagavad Gita in the market, that day I saw was 40 ringgit. The shipping cost another 10 ringgit, 11. And the Japamala set cost 20 ringgit, is 70. Plus the card, I think is free lah, because someone donated. So all in it costs you 70, but today we're only going to give it to you for 50 ringgit, all in all, including shipping. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, if you think you want to sponsor Bhagavad Gita, like Sunday, tomorrow Sunday is Adi Amavasya, right? In that Adi Amavasya day that we are doing prayers for the forefathers, departed forefathers. Today is 3rd, right? Yeah. So tomorrow is 4th. So on that day, what are the things that we can do? We can do so much of wonders by, you can even sponsor Bhagavad Gita. All right, example, you do, we call it a Sastra Dan. Sastra Dan means donating towards the Bhagavad Gita. Sastra Dan. So what is the Sastra Dan? You can give a donation, maybe 100, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 10, whatever amount that you are comfortable, even 10 ringgit. So what I'm going to do, say example, when you sponsor 100 ringgit, I'm going to reduce 10 ringgit from each Bhagavad Gita. So the 40 ringgit Bhagavad Gita will become 30 ringgit. When there's so your influence of that sponsorship will go into 10 Bhagavad Gitas, right? So if there's another person going to sponsor another 100, I'm going to reduce another 10 ringgit further. So the Bhagavad Gita going to cost 20 ringgit. If there's another person going to sponsor another 100 ringgit, I'm going to reduce further. The Gita going to cost 10 ringgit. So whenever we start to distribute Bhagavad Gita, people say, I can't afford 40 ringgit. It's okay. Your 30 ringgit has been sponsored by someone. You just have it for 10 ringgit. So that's what I do. Okay, that's what I do. So I don't give away Bhagavad Gita for free. I'll reduce the price so everyone can be affordable, can afford that Bhagavad Gita. All right. And of course, the chanting back and beats is of course sponsoring. I know that 50 ringgit that we collected, all this we're going to use to purchase this Japa Mala and everything. Whoever very needy, they need it, we're going to give it to them for free of charge. Okay. So that's the RDC formula. If you think that thing really suits you, you can consider doing it. Okay. And another announcement, tomorrow, Sunday, there's no morning class. Sunday, there's no morning class. Of course, we say Sunday morning is a break because Sunday morning I'm doing a program in our Sunday program in Ipoh, Sunday Love Feast. So there's no program. But tomorrow evening, there'll be a program. So if you think you want to get a full benefit of this, what they call Adi Amavasya, you can come and join the evening class. All right. And you can also pray and also dedicate your prayers to your departed forefathers. Can Bhagavad Gita be distributed free? Recipient need not pay for Gita. No, actually, see, to give things for free and to just make a fee of at least 1 ringgit is two different things, right? We can give it away free. We can give it away for free, but always we tell, just collect at least a ringgit donation. Okay, that's better because it's called dakshana. Okay, because when the person gives that 1 ringgit for a Bhagavad Gita, that person still benefits. Of course, when you donate, you get benefit. The person who receives, he gets benefit. But with that 1 ringgit donation is also beneficial because that's also called sacrifice, which we'll discuss in next chapter, chapter 3. Okay, Prabhu. Or what we do, you can just sponsor any amount of Bhagavad Gita that you want to. I'll send the Gita to you. You can distribute to them as a gift. I always tell, give Bhagavad Gita for the wedding. During the wedding day, give a Bhagavad Gita and all this. Because you know what? People will remember you. You understand? People will remember you. In other words, the day when my wife went for a surgery, and the doctor, my wife gave Bhagavad Gita to the doctor, I think many years ago. So he doesn't know that we are there to see him. When he first came and he saw my wife, hey, you are the one who gave me that Bhagavad Gita. You know what? I'm still reading it, you know. He forgot the face, forget the name, everything. But he remembers that we have given him a Bhagavad Gita. That's very powerful to give Bhagavad Gita as a gift. All right. There's another devotee here, ASP, Assistant Superintendent of Police, retired. Now he's a regular devotee. And he said, do you know, Prabhu? 20 over years ago, the first Gita I bought it from you. I said, really? Where? In Batu Gajah, there's a temple festival. I was the policeman in charge. You approached me and you said, take this Gita, and I got it from you. And today I'm a devotee. They will remember, they will forget your face, they forget everything. But they will remember your face because you have given the Gita to them. Okay, of course, the option is there. If you think you want me to distribute, if you give the donation for me to distribute, I will distribute by reducing the price. But if you think you want to buy one bulk, one box of Gita is 20 Gitas inside. If you think you want to buy like that, you want to give it away to your family and friends, whoever it is, you also can do that. It's upon your decision. Okay, you can give it for free or you can distribute. Okay, it's up to you. But when you want to donate for the Gita, please tell me. You have to donate into a different account number. There's BBT, Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust, book trading in that account. And the receipt that you're going to get, you can claim income tax. Okay, because you buy it from me, the receipt or whatever I give you, you can't claim. It's just like, because I'm just collecting all the donors. I have some, I think I have around 100 Bhagavad Gita with me, and I'm just giving away personally. And the profit or whatever, I'm maintaining my Bhakti Yoga Center. So I'm using it for that. But if you think you want to donate like 100, 200, 500, 1,000 or whatever amount, X amount that you want to donate, you have to tell me, don't bank in into my account. I will give you that BBT account. You have to bank into them. I will get the receipt, official receipt from them because they pay tax. You can take that receipt and you can claim your own income tax. All right. And the book will send to you. Okay. Please do take note. Don't bank into me. All right. So we are just fantastically on time. 11:20. Oh, we are overshoot by 5 minutes. Is there any questions? Any comment? All right. So if there's if there is no question or there's no comment, so we will end our session here. So again, it's my great pleasure to have all of you for this Bhagavad Gita discussion. Okay. We meet again. If you want to have round 2 Bhagavad Gita, you can join the evening program. All right. To have, of course, the classes are not same. This is how I'm inspired by Krishna I'm speaking. So you can join the evening program. And please take note, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, there's no morning program. But evening program is on. Okay. But after that, we continue again on Monday on morning. Okay. So with that, okay, I think that's all I need to say. Okay. So with that, thank you so much. It's my great pleasure to have all of you. I would like to convey my thanks. Without your mercy, I wouldn't be able to be here to discuss about this Bhagavad Gita. And please keep in mind, now we're going to have the next program next month. The time and date I have not decided yet, because we're going to go like 20 days. I must make sure that 20 days I got nothing to do. I mean, I'm free. I cannot break the class. So now you start to think and say that who are the people that should supposed to join next month class. Okay, please sign them up, tell them to get ready and ask them to come for this, because nothing like your own testimony. And also I would like to thank all those devotees who gave a wonderful testimony. And through your testimony that I've seen so many people have benefited. Okay. So now you can even write a testimony to encourage people to join evening class. You just can tell how it feels the second session, and those joining your evening class, you can encourage them to join for the evening class. Okay. Till then, have a wonderful day. Whatever I've said, whatever I've shared, if I've offended anyone, kindly forgive me, because I'm just simply repeating what I've heard from my spiritual master and what I've heard from Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. Nothing of this is my own opinion, but it's all opinion of this parampara. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Gauranga.